recorder now, just in case Nay got me
Now
worried.
it's recording. Okay, now it says it's recording. I stopped it and restarted it, so.
Okay, I'm recording now too, just in case.
You missed it, though, right before you answered, JD. I learned something about John I didn't know.
Was that?
He takes the names of villains of animated movies and uses them as curse words.
Say what?
So, you know Farquaad from Shrek?
Yes.
He uses that as a curse word when he's upset.
That was the word I used for fuck when I was when my daughter was around.
Oh.
I kind of like that, actually. Farquaad. We're having to do that right now because he's becoming a little parakeet.
Oh, yeah. They do
is
that.
at that stage.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? At the worst possible times, he will remember to say the worst possible thing he's ever heard you say.
Yes, he did that when he was at his grandmother's. He goes, "Daddy said fuck." And then he made up and then I got pulled over because I closed the door on my gym bag and like the strap was flapping. Mm-hmm. So a cop pulled me over. And this was like 2 months ago. And he's with his grandma last week and he goes, "Daddy got pulled over by a police officer and the police officer came and I was really scared." So, yeah, that was a conversation I had to have with my wife.
Was that followed up with a lollipop and all the spare change they had at that point?
No, it's followed up with a snitches get stitches.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we should get started here.
Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of Superhero Speak.
But I think many of the people that love this character and that love superheroes in general have used these stories as inspiration to say, you know what? I'm going to do something good in the world. I'm going to make a difference like my hero when I was a kid.
That is my fondest memory of it because when you're doing comic books, you want them to affect people, right? You want people to care. You want to strike emotions. And I knew that Clone Saga was striking a lot of emotions.
Can you imagine Pulp Fiction starring Goofy and Mickey Mouse?
I can totally imagine that.
I'm sure somebody's written that one
quarter
too.
Pounder with cheese and France, Mickey? What? Boy, ale with cheese. Yeah. I could totally.
See?
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yes, I gladly sacrifice my progeny to you, almighty Marvel beast.
But Neil Adams is somewhere going, it's my time.
How do you measure success? Hey, everyone. You're listening to Superhero Speak, and I'm your host, Dave.
And John.
And JD.
Yay.
And boys and girls, here we are at this will be our last episode of the year. As always, we'll take our 2 weeks off between Christmas and New Year's here because, family or something like that.
Family.
So
you know that I'm spending it playing Fallout 4 again, right?
Well, JD and I still like our family.
I'm toddlered out.
So we're not going anywhere, though, listeners. Just remember that. We're just going to, we will be back. And I know this episode's actually going out a little late, but that's because, it's all the anticipation for our year-end review, right?
Sure.
So how was your guys' week? JD, apparently you're toddlered out.
He broke me today.
Like, literally?
Like, I had to take him with to the gym, and then I had to take him with to practice because we had finals. And then I did a private lesson for 2 kids, and luckily, the kid's sister played with him. And then we went to dinner, and he's just been on. Like, it makes life so much harder when you have to deal with a 2-year-old while doing everything else.
Oh, yeah. But he's being good right now, right? Because of Santa.
He thinks so. He was being great until Daddy couldn't play the theme song from Spider-Man in the car one more time.
He's 2 years old, Dave. He thinks being good is sticking peanut butter into your computer's tray.
He's better than that, but he's quite on fire. Let's put it that way.
Not literally on fire, right? Because that's also an option at 2.
Yeah, no, yes, you are correct. That is not. No, he said he loves superheroes. If he understood what we did, he would appreciate what Daddy does more. But we just talk about superheroes all the time.
Cool.
What's the big present for him this year?
So he likes masks, like those little plastic masks.
Uh-huh.
And then he'll like put on a different mask and pretend to be a different superhero. That's all he wants for Christmas. So we spent like $30 to buy him a bunch of different masks. And he's going to open up and have like 20 different masks and have the best Christmas ever.
Cool.
So he's fired up about it. He could be various superheroes.
Yeah, my son, who is 16, wanted a VR headset for his computer, so he had to pretend he's a superhero too, but not use his imagination. How about you, John? What's the big gift you want?
That I want? Well, 5'2", eyes of blue.
Red hair, right?
Yeah, that would be nice too. A little respect from you. That would, but I know that's not going to happen.
Fat chance.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is something like all of my siblings and my mother have called me at one point or another asking me what I want for Christmas. Is like, I don't know. It's like everything I want is like, yeah, I'd like a new hard drive card for my computer here so that the Skype works better and I can play games on my upstairs rig. And of course, you tell them all of the specs, and they're like, I have no idea what you said. You said
right.
Socks, right? I think I heard you say socks. There you go. You're getting socks. So, but this week has been good. I've gotten two of my nephews, 12 and 10, interested in Dungeons and Dragons, and so they're getting a complete set of the core rule books and dice and all that for Christmas. And when I go up to visit, I'll be teaching my nephews how to play D&D.
Which edition?
Well, I'm going to try 5th edition with them.
Oh, okay.
The last one I liked was 3.5. Nobody likes 4 apparently, but this will be my first foray into 5, and I heard it was pretty good. And on top of that, actually just a couple of hours ago, we got the final death battle of the year from Screw Attack, and it was Darkseid versus Thanos, and Thanos with the gauntlet. So that was way cool. What else? Oh, I went to see Spider-Man: The Spider-Verse.
What do you think?
It was awesome.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was awesome. I'm going again with my nephews when I go over because it was that good. It's like one of the few movies I've ever seen that I want to see again.
Cool.
There's a lot to it too. You can miss a lot. And this isn't a spoiler, but it kind of takes into account the Raimi universe as canon.
Yeah, I heard that from someone else who saw it. So
yeah, but they make jokes about it. It's
right.
My son and I are both huge fans of the Post Malone song that appears in the soundtrack.
Yeah. So what else? I think that's all I have. Yeah.
I heard from a lot of people there's a lot of fan service, Spider-Man fan service in the movie. So
yeah. But good fan service. Like if you're a fan of Spider-Man, there's going to be a lot in there for you to catch. But kids will like it too. It really is good for it's one of those things that has it on all levels. The storyline is great. There are parts, it hits just the right notes at parts where it makes you just want to bawl your eyes out. Mm-hmm. And then it'll come up with a joke because that damn Spider-Ham, and Nicolas Cage is in it as Spider Noir. It is the voice. So it's one of the most perfect things I've seen.
Well, that makes it instant classic.
Yeah.
The Nicolas Cage being in it, that is.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
He's really good.
I know, but it kind of closes the circle because Nicolas Cage was going to play Superman in, was it? And in that movie, he was against a nice spider.
Right.
That's really not closing of any circle. That's just kind of all coincidence.
It seems like coincidence. My circles are square, so all these squares make a circle. And I just saw the trailer for Hellboy, and
yay, nay. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm sorry.
Kid all day.
I'm sorry. I don't know if it's that we saw with Ron Perlman. I don't know if the Guillermo del Toro, I can never see his name right. Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, I'm not having it today. So his movie, I don't know if it's because it was him and Ron Perlman played Hellboy and all that. Ron Perlman, I think, had like that perfect balance between, yeah, he's kind of a teenager, but he's this huge guy, with an attitude and, a lot of power. I wasn't catching it from David Harbour.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I mean, this movie has the blessing of Del Toro and Ron Perlman and all the rest.
I haven't seen the preview yet either, so I'll have to take your word on it till I see it. But again, how much can you tell from a, what was it, 2 minutes?
Not
What's
much.
that?
How much can you tell from a 2-minute trailer?
Well, not much. No, yeah, not much really. But you can catch a few mannerisms and the way he talks and the way he acts, and
yeah,
it was like Ron Perlman when he when you watched his performance, it was like he felt comfortable in there. He was Hellboy. He was in the moment. It didn't I felt it, and again, it's just a trailer, but it kind of felt like David Harbour was putting effort into playing Hellboy.
Okay.
It wasn't just it was, I am Hellboy. Keep that in mind when I say this next line. And it could be just me. I don't know. When you guys see, you have to let me know what you think.
Right. Now, but speaking of things that came out today on the internet, did you see how the Avengers Endgame trailer should have ended?
No.
So it's they have the part where it's Ant-Man going, it's me, Ant-Man. I got real big. I'm sure you remember that. And he goes, buzz me in. And then Cap goes, okay, buzz him in. And then all of a sudden, Wolverine shows up, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, like everyone in the Marvel Universe. And then, even, Donald from Kingdom Hearts. So everyone from the Disney Universe starts showing up to help. And yeah, it was,
and Blade too.
Oh yeah, Blade, of course. So it was funny. I thought it was pretty good.
I'd like another Blade movie.
Yeah, I love how it should have ended video. So I'm gonna put a link to that in the description.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with them.
No.
So what about you, Dave? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
How was your week? What are you doing?
My week was okay. I've been actually kind of busy. I don't know if you guys have been on our website in a while, but it's kind of been updated a little bit.
We have a website. I know, all joke.
So yeah, we've updated our website a little bit, just to make it a little easier to find some of the things, because we have been putting a lot of content out there the last week or so. We actually got like 4 new reviews. We're putting news articles up every day, and of course we're still putting up the comic book nostalgia videos, this day in comic book videos, every day as well. So
it's been a cavalcade of critical content.
And there's even an occasional opinion piece that goes up that some people roll their eyes at.
That's a super critical content.
It's a hypercritical content.
Hey, I'm allowed to have my opinion, and I never stopped you guys from writing up yours.
Nope.
That's what the mute button is for, Dave.
Well played, John.
Look. So for those who are interested, make sure you go to superheroespeak.com and check out. You can find it in the news section. I wrote a rant today about why I don't like the character of Spider-Gwen.
You're a mean one.
You're Mr. Grinch. You're dead to me, Dad.
However, at the end of, did you read it, JD?
I got through half of it, and I was like, we had this exact same conversation on the show.
Yes.
Was there more?
But at the end of this, the last paragraph, I give my thought on who would have made a better character than Gwen Stacy.
To be Spider-Gwen?
Well, not Spider-Gwen. It's actually Spider-Woman, but everyone calls her Spider-Gwen.
I believe they're branding her as Spider-Ghost, but that's okay.
Well, yes, but technically, I mean, when she started, technically, her name was Spider-Woman.
True. But we have like 19 Spider-Women.
Yes, that's why they then changed it to Spider-Ghost, and now everyone calls her Spider-Gwen, which isn't much of a secret identity.
Well, if you're from a different universe, no one knows who you are.
Well,
you just know it's Gwen. Could be Gwen Reed, Gwen Smith.
Gwen Stefani.
It could be Gwen Stefani. She's popular.
So yes, I think I thought of someone who actually I think there's two females that would have made a better character.
Now I have to go.
Why?
Because I want to know. It's going to be eating me up by the whole show if I don't know the answer.
All right, I'll give you a hint. She was married to Ned Leeds.
Betty Brant?
Yes. Well, just read the article to see what my reasoning was. So yeah, there you go. Great conversation starters like that.
Or enders, as it may.
So make sure you guys are checking out superheroespeak.com every day and let us know what you know. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you know. Let us know what you think of our of the new design.
It's very social media appropriate. Let us know what you know.
because we need more. We're not very good at knowing apparently sometimes. So we use all the help we could.
Yes, especially on social media, like on Twitter, where you can find us at Superheroes Speak, and lots of people have been talking with us this week.
Yeah.
We'll start. What?
No, I was gonna say we got a nice little shout out from Valiant.
Oh yeah, we can start with that one. So Valiant Comics, we've been writing up. They send us press releases almost every day now at this point, and they've had a lot going on. So we've been writing up some of that stuff on the website, and they gave us 2 shout-outs this week. The first one was we had done a write-up about some of the new hires over at Valiant, and they said, "So glad Superhero Speak is highlighting the important stuff about the new members of Valiant HQ." And that, of course, is their facial hair quality.
This is true.
Yeah.
Both those guys have really nice mustaches.
It'd be better if they had beards, but that's okay.
Wow.
In this day and age, I'm surprised they don't have beards. Everyone's got a beard.
This is true. And then the other one was Jesse, who has been writing reviews for us, wrote a really nice review on Livewire #1. And when they were promoting it on Twitter, they actually quoted Jesse's review. Through the creative expertise of, they used their hashtags in the tweet.
The creative team, we'll just say.
Yeah, the creative team. Livewire has already been revealed as a must-follow series with the Valiant universe. And then, just Livewire #1 hit shelves this Wednesday, which is today as we're recording. Yesterday when this goes up. So yeah, definitely make sure you guys check out Jesse's review on Livewire and then check out the book. And, we're enjoying our relationship we're having right now with Valiant, though, you'll see more stuff from them, that we're going to review coming up, so.
I like that they've kind of gone beyond just the shooter properties and have really blossomed into something new.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to, right? You can't just.
Right.
They've been around for 15 years now, I think.
Longer. Well, I don't know. Valiant's such a weird story, but they showed up in I want to say 92. Yeah. And then disappeared in 96-ish.
Right.
And then came back in 2012. I want to say that's how it goes. But yeah, they're more than just, hey, remember these cool things that Jim Shooter came up with 25 years ago?
Right.
they've really taken that universe and really made it its own thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it is a whole universe now. So we had talked about them making a Plastic Man movie, and
Yep. I tried to block that out, but go ahead.
And at Company Man Comic, Nadraj Kanarf. I don't. That is not a name.
Dude. Was that Pinky in the Brain? Kanarf?
Kanarf. Yes. That might be what it is. But it's at Company Man Comic and said, Plastic Man, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation is going on at Warner Brothers?
Ha ha ha.
What's that you say?
That's the problem. It's not a Mickey Mouse.
Bugs Bunny rules the roost over there? Oh, carry on then.
Yeah.
This is probably
cute.
This is probably true. And Al Cardi? Al Vizzicardi, and he's at Al Vizzicardi, replied with, well, it's different than Batman and Superman over and over. Even though I want more Batman and Superman, it's still a good thing to expand their film characters. Get it? Expand? Besides, DC has to get out on the stretchy guy ground floor before Marvel has Mr. Fantastic done right.
DC just has to reboot and get rid of whoever's in charge. And no, who is it? There's Superman, Batman guy. Just get rid of them all and get some new people in who actually care about comics.
Let's hold off on making this call until after we see Aquaman.
Yeah, that's true.
If Aquaman is terrible, then it's going to be Frankenstein. Let's get the pitchforks. But I want to see what they do with this one because I don't know. I wasn't intrigued with this, but the more time goes on, the more I'm on the let's give Aquaman a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that because I am the last trailer looked okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like oh my God, what's his name? The one who's playing Aquaman. He looks like he's having fun.
Right.
You know.
I agree.
Why can't I remember his name? What is his name? Damn it.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Pretty boy.
Yeah.
He is a good-looking dude. Let's be real. That is one good-looking dude.
Yes. And you say that with a
tinge of jealousy in my voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he was. I mean, I remember him from way back because he was in Stargate Atlantis.
Dude, he was on Baywatch. This dude, he's paid his acting dues.
Yeah, in Baywatch, jeez. So he hit the really bad Baywatch years, and then he went and did his sci-fi rounds. So yeah, he's basically all he needs is a Lifetime show. And
he hit the bad Baywatch spinoff. He was Baywatch Hawaii.
Oh,
yeah. That dude's a survivor. And that scar over his eyebrow is a bar fight thing. So that's pretty cool in my mind. That upped him like 10 spots in my "you're a pretty bad dude" meter.
So maybe we can see if we can hook you guys up with a date. Is that?
I'll do it. I would date Jason Momoa if given the option. Nothing, just to make my wife jealous. That's the sound she'd make too.
So we had talked about the title for the Birds of Prey movie, the long, ridiculous something about Harley Quinn. And Tonic Mole, one of our favorite commenters on Twitter, said, I feel like they're really aping Deadpool. Not to mention it's a Birds of Prey movie without Batgirl. Just feel like they don't care about the source material whatsoever. I don't know. What do you put? Do you feel that way? Like, yes. What is Birds of Prey without Batgirl? Right.
To be fair, I didn't realize Batgirl wasn't in it until he just said that. So, I guess I know we probably said it. I just hadn't realized it. First, yes, if you're gonna do some Deadpool-esque, Harley Quinn is that character.
Yeah.
To do it with. And why not? Because Margot Robbie's the only good thing to come out of Suicide Squad. Only. So, something with the character that's not Suicide Squad too. Sure, why not? If it works for Deadpool, why can't it work for her? Like, what's wrong with more entertaining superhero movies?
Right. No, I agree. And I understand his point though. Like, if you're gonna do a movie like this, you don't have to call it Birds of Prey, Just
I'm 50-50 on that. I think maybe the Gotham Sirens title might have gone over a little bit better, but at the same time, it probably doesn't have the cachet that Birds of Prey does.
Yeah.
Although, to be quite frank, neither of them have much. So.
But you can't do Birds of Prey without Oracle.
Well, it turns out you can.
It's good for you, DC.
They can do what they want. It's their characters.
They can. I want to see Aquaman before we go back to pooping on DC, because I feel like we do that all the time. It's hard not to, but I mean, I feel like we do that all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to try to take a positive look towards something. Aquaman's really good, and everything else is in development. So, but he ain't wrong. I'm not saying the man's wrong. I mean, there's something there.
Hey, we got the CW shows. Mm.
Something else we had talked about was you being right about...
I love those words.
About John Cena and his wanting to play Captain America.
John Cena. Yeah.
Sorry.
Insert that here, Dave, when you do the post-edit.
Scary Thoughts had said...
Phenomenal Twitter handle, by the
way. Captain America, ? No U.S. agent, ? Absolutely. And then you replied, JD, I could see it. Big match. John always wanted to play the heel.
The heel is a wrestling term for the bad guy.
I was going to say, that's the wrestling terminology, isn't it?
That is wrestling terminology. John Cena wanted to be the bad guy multiple times in his career. They would not let him.
And then Scary Thoughts replied, give him that heel turn. McMahon never will.
Yes. Yes. There's actually, I saw quite a few people actually mentioning John Cena as U.S. agent. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of like that idea, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I think
that there's something there.
Oh yeah. Make him like the guy who takes over the mantle, then goes a little nuts, and they call him, make him U.S. agent. I think that would be perfect. Of course, Shannon U. Bishop replied with just no.
I like her style.
Shannon is a man. Sorry.
Oh, I like his style. Damn you for misleading me. No, I'll go with JD in this. Let's see what happens before we poo-poo it.
I don't think they're going to make John Cena Captain America, but I do think it'd be a good idea to include him in the Marvel universe to be quite in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I think it'll probably happen. There seems to be people who like the idea out there.
He's quite talented. Just wrestling notwithstanding, every movie role he's done, he's been pretty good. So,
and he's kind of charming,
Yes.
All right, so you date Momoa, I'll date Cena. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Again, my wife's super jealous.
They sigh.
So this was something that actually made me think a little bit, and I'm like, they might have a point. We had talked about, obviously the Captain Marvel trailer, the new one, and take a knee for Marvel versus DC, and said,
what the hell does that mean?
I don't know, but I like it.
I was having the hardest time. Hey, take a knee, my friend. If you're listening to the show, please respond with what the heck your Twitter handle means.
But they had said, not really feeling the Super Saiyan thing they have her doing, which is true. She doesn't really do that in the comics, where it's like she powers up and then she's covered in an energy field. That is definitely feels like a Dragon Ball thing.
But look how popular Dragon Ball is.
No, I don't really think they did it because of Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, but it is kind of a trope that's leaking into all sorts of genres.
That's true. It is very tropey, and it looks cool.
Yeah,
and that's the point. It looks awesome if it's done right.
It's purely, I understand it's purely a visual thing for the movies. And do you think that's something that would creep back into the comics?
Yes.
Yeah?
I do. Well, it's like I heard Matt Fraction talking about how no one ever thought about ever having Tony Stark talk to the reader until Jon Favreau did it with the interior view of the Iron Man armor. And now it's a thing. And it's like, how did we never think of that for 50 years? So, I think that is something that they, because why not? It's another storytelling device. It's another way to show that she's powering up, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, it's like, organic web shooters, right?
Kryptonite came from the Superman radio show.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
That's right. I remember that. Right.
You remember listening to the radio show, right, John?
Well, yeah, back then it was hard to, afford a radio, I remember listening to it on the Telegraph too.
You listen to the Telegraph?
Well, it takes a long time to get through a line, but.
Beep, 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 beep.
And then finally, in response to the Blue Beetle movie, I don't know how to. Okay, so it's K.
Try this one. None of us can. Oh, it's Christopher.
Christopher. Okay. He said that I think this is a good idea. he's well known enough for hardcore fans, not so well known by most casual fans. That leaves him open for interpretation and experimentation. As much as we all want to see the biggest characters on the screen, I think this will make for better films, which you can definitely say that with, like, look at the Guardians, you know? They're not exact interpretations from the comics, but they took the idea and made it really work in a movie. Because there was definitely room for interpretation there, right?
Totally. So since we started reading these social media responses on the show, they've gotten a lot better every week. I had read this part of the show, but it's really become quite fun.
He's never mentioned it till now.
Yes. That's what we're about here is being part of the conversation.
Or making one, if not, because, ratings.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of news here before we look back on 2018. This one was definitely covered on our website, and I had to include this. Amy Rutberg, who played what was her character's name on
Marcy
on Daredevil, in an interview recently, just said that Marvel is definitely not behind the decision that it Netflix, because they were getting ready to start production in February for that season, and all Contact Marvel were shocked when they heard the news just got canceled. And I found it interesting because we got that week from Netflix basically saying it's a licensing issue. So turning into a little bit of a he said she said here.
I hate when mommy and daddy fight in public.
So
it could be that the decision was made at salary levels way above the heads of her and whatever contacts she has.
Oh yeah, I agree, but I mean,
it could also be that Disney asked for something that Netflix couldn't stomach, and Netflix had no choice but to cancel
see, here's
it.
the other thing that's interesting is I didn't realize this. We kind of talked about it a little bit. They still have a 18-month contract on Defenders, and there's all the contracts there was a non-compete, and they're not allowed to show or do competing TV shows with any of these characters for 2 years after the show's canceled.
That's actually not a terrible thing. 2 years is going to go faster than people realize.
I agree.
And by the time the shows everything gets canceled, Disney Plus is up. It gives them another year to get things underway. I mean,
but they'll have to reboot them though. They won't be able to use the.
Why do you say that? You think so?
2 years, like you said, is a long time. A lot of those actors are going to find other regular work.
Yeah, but it's this is not like a regular TV show. It's they're going to come in, make 8 to 10 episodes, and move on to something else.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like a 26. It's not like TV in the 70s to the 90s,
Right. Right, and it's not a 6-month commitment anymore. Like they can record it all. They could probably record most of their stuff in 2 months, chop it up into 10 episodes, and put it out.
For real. I mean, I bet they can find a way to make it work.
Right.
Yeah, still kind of pressed about that, but.
Oh, I think we all kind of are. Like the shows are good, but they don't want to do. I think this whole thing is just spin. Everyone's out. We're never going to know the videos. It's these two companies just don't want to work each other more.
Well, we do. It was Walt Disney's head underneath Walt Disney World. He makes all the decisions.
Now wait a minute. You worked at Disney.
I didn't work at Disney. I sang on stage at Disney, but that wasn't working for them. I get to see the tunnels underneath.
All right.
No, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Did you see the Frozen?
But there were places where they wouldn't take us. They had the Michael Eisner clones that were, making them go downstairs.
There's so many things you could do with this conversation. Like, story was, my imagination is just overwrought on what could be done. Spooky.
So have you guys saw some of the people that are being cast in this Stargirl show?
I heard about Joe McHale.
Yeah, Joe McHale, he's going to be Starman. Lou Ferrigno Jr. has been...
I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest with you.
Has been cast as Hourman, and Brian Staff was cast as Wildcat. So this is actually sounding like a real good.
It's really kind of like those early Jeff Johns, David Goyer JSAs.
Yeah.
From like 2000, 2001.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that's the feel that they're going for because it sounds like it.
Yeah, those are really good books. If anyone hasn't read them.
And so, the one thing that threw me was Joel McHale. Like, does that mean there's going to be a comedic edge to, Starman in this?
Well, first of all, it's basically Star Spangled Kid that they're doing. I don't know why they're calling him Starman, because it's when you see him, it's basically Stargirl. She takes the Star Spangled Kid's staff and becomes a superhero. It's not. It actually was Starman's that she took. I don't know. Maybe they are doing it. Like, boy, now that I'm thinking about the origin of Stargirl, maybe it is Starman, and I have no idea what they're doing. It's mindless speculation.
Every time I've seen this article, the picture is the Star Spangled Kid.
But she gets her staff from Jack Knight in the comics. But casting him as Joel McHale makes no sense to me. I don't know what I got no ideas.
None. How about our DC apologist?
It's just I'm not gonna say anything about this until you hear something more. Like anything more. Like you don't even have. I mean, all we've got is rumor at this point.
All right. And one other thing real quick that I didn't include. Have either of you been following the Teen Titans or Titans show on the DC app?
No, but I keep seeing on Facebook all these people saying, "Oh my God, this is so not what I thought it would be."
I agree. I've noticed that too. We're going to get it next month when Young Justice premieres. So I imagine I'll at least sample an episode or two.
Okay. I'm waiting till after the new year to dive in. Basically wait after I get my tax return. Like I saw the preview for, I think it was the last episode in the season, and it's the Titans versus Batman. So yes, they brought Batman into this. I don't know who plays him because in all the previews he's just in the costume. Like you don't see him out of the costume, and it's like
it's Michael Keaton.
That'd be awesome.
And in the preview, I haven't watched the show, but in the preview they make it look like Batman's finally crossed the line, and he's starting to like kill criminals, and that's why the Titans are going after him.
We both know it. We all know. We all three of us. We know that that's not the case. It can't be. They
I'm sure it's going to be.
DC would not allow that to happen to that licensed property.
Right. I'm sure it's going to be once they catch up with him at the end. You find out he was being framed by Joker or something. I get it, but it was I don't know, just interesting. I think we all should be watching it. So next year we'll watch it.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. An ex post facto. Maybe at least review the pilot or something like that.
And the last little bit of news that we have, again, this is another article from that website, superheroes.com.
Shameless self-promotion.
Kevin Smith is going to be writing an arc in Hit Girl, which starts next year. And he's teaming up with an unknown artist. It's Pernil, and I have no idea how to pronounce her last name because it's Zero RUM. And like, if you go to her website, that's how her name's spelled.
Zero Rum?
Yeah, she's French, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, I don't know if that's
The art looks good.
Yeah, kind of Disney-esque. So I have a question. How much Kevin Smith comics have you guys read?
I read Guardian Double, the run, and I read what was his? I can't remember his green what they collected his Green Arrow run as.
Okay.
But I read it.
Yeah. I mean, he gets a lot of praise for the Green Hornet run that he did.
Quiver?
That might be it. And then he has the Bat. So like, but unfortunately, the two things he's most known for comic book wise is Spider-Man Black Cat. We know what happened there, right?
Refresh my memory.
So, I want to say it was early 2003.
Yeah, it's early 2000s.
And, like, there was if I remember correctly, it's a 5-part series, and like the first 4 came out, and everyone loved it, and it took him like 5 years to finish it.
Oh yeah.
And the ending is kind of lackluster too. It was like, he kind of just like, it almost like felt like he didn't have an idea, and he just threw together an ending because everyone kept complaining he never finished the story. So yeah. And then of course in his Batman run, he's made Batman piss his pants.
Yeah, he explained it why it would actually happen, but it's still weird.
So
No, I didn't read either of those, but I did like his the Daredevil and the Green Arrow one.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but like.
Yeah.
What have you read any of the Kevin Smith stuff?
I can't remember I can't remember what I've read that was his. I never really followed comics per author until I started talking to you guys, and I really haven't gone back through, I haven't.
You haven't?
I have not. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little afraid what he's going to do with a violent teenage superhero.
Fart jokes.
Have her ride a giant spider in the town. I don't know.
Is she going to be working behind a counter at a convenience store? Like
Two broke roles of superheroes. Okay.
I don't know. To be fair, like on his Green Arrow run, he was kind of digging deep into the DC bench. Like he did a pretty cool. He did some pretty cool stuff with the Demon and like so he knows how to write a good comic story. That being said, I'm not a big Kick-Ass fan. I'm not a big Mark Miller fan, to be honest with you. But I don't know what to expect from this.
How can you not be a Mark Miller fan?
Not a Mark Miller fan. I think he's got a very like bleak outlook on just stuff in general. Like I don't like his views on Superman. That Superman is bored with humanity basically because he's got this super Kryptonian brain, and I don't dig his take on things. I don't like the Ultimates. Just me. I'm that guy.
Civil War.
I don't like Civil War. It was better the first time it came out when it was called Watchmen.
That was pretty cool there. Okay.
Wait. How about what's the one about the assassin?
Oh, I never read that one. Wanted, right? Yeah, I never read it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't like Mark Millar, so I've never really gone out of my way to get into his stuff.
All right. The opinions of JD aren't necessarily shared by the rest of the hosts.
I side with Grant Morrison.
All right. So let's take a little bit of a time now, and let's talk about our 2018. So I wanted to just say, I think we've had a pretty good year as a podcast. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
I did pretty good. I was only tackled by security a couple of times this year.
This is my first full year with the show. I don't have anything else to compare it to, but I have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, we went to a few cons this year. Great Philly, of course. Wizard World Philly and New York Comic Con. That was a lot of fun, right, John?
Yes. Yeah, that was interesting. Because it was different this year because we had actual press passes.
Yeah.
So I had to try and balance going out on the floor and doing what I've been doing for a while now with having actual, pressers and roundtables.
Yes. I think we had a lot of great interviews this year. I mean, we started out with Michael Nathanson on the show, who was in Punisher, and then we had Joshua Mickle, who everyone knows from The Walking Dead, but he was also in Ant-Man and that movie Game Night. Did you guys see that?
Oh, it was in Game Night. Yeah, I haven't seen Game Night.
No.
I've seen promos for it. I know what it is.
It's actually pretty good. He's one of the bad guys in the surprise. He's one of the bad guys in there. It's always weird, like, to have, like, we had watched The Punisher and then had Michael on, right? But then Joshua, we had on, and then I went and saw Ant-Man. It was like, oh wait, he was on the podcast, and then I saw Game Night, and I'm like, look, he was on the podcast. It's always
we're starting to hit maybe fourth, fifth ring out from was it oh god, was it 7? Oh my god.
7 degrees Kevin Bacon.
We're like 4 or 5 degrees from Bacon. We're almost there. We're almost to Bacon himself.
Bacon.
Jeez, man, did I flood that? My brain just froze.
And of course, we had some of your favorite people on this year, John. You got to talk to David Bradley, Tara's.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just have to mention once again, David Bradley is one of the nicest old guys you will ever talk to. He's just like so kind and generous and loves the fans. And if you ever get to see him, just like, well, don't try to give him a hug because there's one of the times I got tackled by security. But do say hi to him. He loves it.
Okay, so So you also got to talk to Bruce Timm, Kevin Conroy, and Tara Strong. What was it that you did to Tara Strong that security dragged you out of the convention?
Well, okay, we did get the ban reversed, so I can get it. I can get it next year. Apparently, she gets a lot of proposals every day. Okay. So, yeah. And her husband, not a fan.
No, not at all.
No. She's just as nice as you could think. Kevin Conroy is an awesome guy. That whole group that worked on the Batman animated series is just, they're all freaking awesome. And those were roundtables that we got to do with them.
Right, like me with the Curtis Armstrong and D. Bradley Baker, that was a lot of fun. Being somebody who grew up as a huge fan of Revenge of the Nerds, to get to just talk to him for a little bit, that was great. Some comic people were on this podcast, believe it or not.
Really?
This guy that Frank Gogol, I believe JD knows him.
That guy.
Andy Schmidt from Comics Experience. Of course, I got to talk to Jay. I'm going to mess his name up. J.M. Demetrius? Dematis. Okay. Who wrote one of the greatest Spider-Man stories of all time?
Definitely the greatest of its era.
What was that?
The greatest of its era.
What, you don't like Craven's Last
Time? No, I do, but I mean, it's such what I love about Craven's Last Time is it's such a departure from everything that ever came before it. In the post-Stan Lee world, anything that Stan didn't write, I think that it's the greatest Spider-Man story ever written. But Stan Lee kind of set such a huge template with the character, so as I was saying, of its era, far and away the best. Since Lee left the book, yeah, it's the best Spider-Man story ever. But I don't know if it's the classic Spider-Man stories. It's not quite there. Yeah.
And then we had a couple great conversations with Dirk Madden and Kaylin Smith this year.
Yep, love both of those people.
Our good buddy Troy Brownfield was just recently back on, and of course Scott Hanna and Todd Knock we talked to. So yeah, just to name a few people. I mean, we still have interviews we got to get out.
You guys overdid it this year.
I think so.
What do you mean overdid it? I still have not broken my record of 17 interviews in one convention.
It's been 4 months and we don't have everything posted yet.
Because someone's supposed to send me a list and he keeps forgetting.
Well, you still haven't posted the ones that we've got keyed up with you, so.
I haven't? You have to send me
No. You still have some that I've. This is it. This is what drowning in the good stuff is.
This is communication. We need to work on it. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, I think we'd had a lot of great conversations. We had a lot of fun at these cons. It might be hard to top it next year, but we're going to try, I think. So let's talk about some of the movies. So, when I was looking at the movies that came out this year, do you guys realize Marvel had 6 movies this year?
6?
6. Yeah, I mean, right. Right away, everyone's going to go Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
But then we have...
God, Black Panther was this year, wasn't it?
The beginning of the year.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Jeez.
Then you have Into the Spider-Verse, Deadpool 2, and Venom.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Did you guys see Venom? Me neither.
No.
It's now out, I think, on Blu-ray, so I might...
That's one of the few I'm not going... I don't feel...
But it made a lot of money. We didn't see it, but it seems like everybody else did.
I actually heard it's not that bad. I heard it's not...
It did seem to have very low expectations, because I think everybody thought Trainwreck.
Exactly. And only one DC movie this year, and it's not even out yet. It's out this weekend. That's Aquaman. So you don't have to pick from those films. What was everyone's favorite movie this year?
It's a toss-up between Black Panther and Infinity War. I haven't seen Spider-Verse yet, so I mean that could overtake both. And I really like both those movies.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. I've got some honorable mentions. Rampage. is like one of my new favorite guilty pleasures. Guilty
Did you
pleasure.
see Rampage, JD?
No, I can honestly say I did not.
It was fun. It was stupid, but it was
fun. If you just want to watch mindless destruction with a little bit of fun and shut your brain off for an hour and a half, you should watch the movie.
Yeah. And Dwayne Johnson, doing his Dwayne Johnson, his The Rock shtick, and doing it well. And it like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. It wasn't a great movie in that, the storyline was all over the place. There are plot holes, blah, blah, blah. But it's just fun to have on the background, and every once in a while sit down with, a beer or a glass of wine or whatever you drink. For me, it's this bottle of blackberry brandy. But it's just cool. But anyway, that's that. Crazy Rich Asians was another one that I liked. There's an animated show on Netflix, a movie called Next Gen, which took me by surprise. I would check that out. As far as my favorite, at this point, it's a toss-up for me between Avengers of Infinity War and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And the only reason it's a toss-up is because I think they're equally good. It's just that the end of Spider-Verse doesn't make me feel like, like my world just crumbled.
And you like that in a movie? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Spider-Verse ends on a high note, and it seems like it opens it up for a Spider-Verse 2, which would be really nice if they've got the same people directing and writing, because it was that good.
Okay. I've been thinking about this one, and it's funny because did you see the other Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie this year?
What was the other one?
Oh, that was the knockoff of.
I can't think of the name of it now. Damn it. Like the Tower or something like that. It's not the Tower.
Oh yeah, it was the Towering Inferno ripoff. Right.
Well,
it was Skyscraper. Yes,
Skyscraper. But it was also a ripoff
of Die Hard. It's Die Hard and Towering Inferno in one. Yes. Mm-hmm. But I will honestly say, if you want to just shut your brain off and watch an action movie, Dwayne Johnson is good for that.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
Another honorable mention is definitely the Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh, yeah, that was good. No, that was good. I liked it. Yeah. Yeah. It was well worth Henry Cavill keeping the mustache.
I do wonder why, though. Like, he didn't really need the mustache. Like,
because Paramount put their foot down and said, screw you. He has a mustache.
Not to spoil the movie, but spoiler warning, it's almost like the trope of the bad guy has the mustache.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's 100% accurate. But I just like Paramount for just going, no. The mustache stinks.
But I think that my favorite movie of 2018 might honestly be Deadpool 2.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. There's no doubt.
I don't know. I love Deadpool, so it's just, and I thought it was a great sequel to the first one, and I can't wait for him to get folded into the MCU. That's going to be nuts.
Well, if they do, it has to be with Ryan Reynolds. They can't do a recast for that.
No, they can't, and it's the one they can get away with just bringing Ryan Reynolds in because it's Deadpool. Like, he knows the movie.
And he would be the one that, travels through the multiverse.
Right. Okay, so do you guys have any least favorite films of 2018?
You got any ideas, JD? Or do you
Justice was Justice like 2018 or 2017?
I checked.
Okay. I don't know. It was bad enough for 2 years.
Still stings. I didn't hate Solo, but I didn't love it. Like, I was a tad disappointed in it, but not like I'm going to start destroying toys online. I just thought it could have been a lot better.
No, you're not going to destroy toys online.
No, I have better things to do with my time. I just thought it could have been better. Like, it sure seems like Lord and Miller can make a lot of good movies, but for some reason that movie didn't work out for some reason. I don't know. It's just, there's something rotten in the state of Denmark with that movie. And it just didn't, the whole thing didn't click for me. Despite a pretty good twist at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree. I kind of feel like Solo was like it was a good idea. It definitely was a good idea. Like, you know, there's people who complain and say they were just a cash grab, doing a prequel of Han Solo, blah blah. And it's like, no, I kind of wanted to see some of like how did he meet Chewbacca. I've always been curious about that. You know, and how he got the Falcon. You know, tying it all into one story, maybe that was a little much.
I just didn't like that it all happens over a weekend.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a good idea, but I think it was poor execution.
Yeah, I do. I think the execution was poor. I hate in prequel. I think this was the time we reviewed it. I hate in prequels how every time there's a prequel, everything that defines a character happens in like 6 minutes.
So, how about you, John?
Well, I would say it's a tie between Show Dogs and Sherlock Gnomes. But of the movies that I have seen, or kind of seen, there's like only one movie that I literally could not finish, and that was Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Really?
I really did not like that movie at all.
Huh.
I couldn't finish it. It was.
See, that's funny because everyone else I know who's seen it, I haven't, said they really liked it. So,
it might be my humor is not skewed towards the bodily function, and I don't know.
It's almost like it's a show. It's almost like they made it for children.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the only reason I gave it a try was because, you know, everybody was saying, "Oh no, it's actually really good and really funny. It makes fun of all the DC movies and all that." You know, even to the point of like Green Lantern say, "Yeah, I made a movie too, but we don't talk about that." But which you know, that all the outtakes I had seen, it seemed funny, so I started watching it. And it's like I got halfway through it, and I'm like, I can't even finish this. So that's
oh,
mine.
Wait a minute, no. Here's my least favorite. Oh, I forgot this came out this year. Now this was a direct to like Netflix movie, but I'm still going to count it. I don't know if either of you've seen this. The Escape Plan 2.
No.
Is that like Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Is the Escape Plan the one with Schwarzenegger and Stallone? That was corny. Fun, but corny. I didn't see the sequel. Are they in the sequel?
So, Sylvester Stallone is, and
the Escape Plan 2.
The guy.
Sylvester Stallone and Dave Bautista.
Right, to say Bautista is the other guy in the movie. Oh. And if you remember from the first one, Sylvester Stallone is like a security expert, and they send him to these prisons to break out to see if he can get past their security. And I don't know if they had any kind of budget for this movie, and I don't even know how Stallone was involved with. But like, you know, some of those like low budget movies from the 80s and 90s with the really bad CGI. Yeah. Like, a lot of the special effects. And it was like this futuristic prison where there were like these floating robots that were the guards. Oh my God.
Well, okay then.
It is possibly the worst movie of 2018. I won't say it's the worst movie ever because it's not The Room, but...
Oh, hi, Mark.
No, yes, thank you.
But it is definitely up there. Yes.
God,
if you have not seen The Escape Plan 2,
don't.
Exactly.
Sorry, that was really
Avoid
funny.
it at all costs.
I'm really funny none of us have said anything about Ready Player One, because that came out this year too, and
I don't know, it didn't. I remember when we talked about it on the show, like I was like, I compared it to Leftovers.
Yeah.
You
know?
I mean,
because I recently just threw it on again, and yeah, it was good. I could watch it through again, and it was okay. It's still pretty cool, but
yeah,
it's like pizza. You open it up the first day, it's really good. Next day, it's still pretty good, but not as good.
It's still pizza.
It's not break your heart Infinity War.
But that broke your heart in a good way. Like that, it was like. I'm trying to compare it to a movie that makes you cry without trivializing a movie that makes you cry. I would say, oh, it's like Schindler's List. I mean, like, this is not. But it's like, it really, like, Infinity War moves you because you love these characters so much. Like, it gets such a genuine reaction out of you. And I think that's why it's awesome. And it's such a great setup for what we'll get this year.
Yes.
But,
Yeah, I think now I'm thinking about it, Spider-Verse is better.
Really? I'm excited.
It's because okay, Infinity War, they've spent 10 years putting stuff together in order to come to this part where they have all these characters with all these backstories so that when you see it, you care about the characters and all that. But the movie is still a lot of, they come up with scenes that they think are going to be extremely cool, and then they adjust the movie to get to those scenes. Kind of like, the last director of Doctor Who used to like say, I want to do this scene, and then he would put a story all around it just to make that scene happen. But Spider-Verse feels like the characters actually work towards their goals. They actually work for that scene where they come into their own.
So you think Infinity War is a very plot-driven film, where the plot actually dictates what the characters are doing in the story rather than the other way around?
Thor, without his hammer, enjoyed basking in a stream of like super hot plasma and survived.
He's a god.
What?
He's a god.
But he's not. I mean, he's never shown that kind of indestructibility before. I mean, but I mean, it's not as bad as a lot of stuff that I've seen. But still, Spider-Verse just has that extra oomph where you really, really feel for the characters, and they do it in one movie.
No, I think, you know? And I understand a little bit of the motivation, but like he defeated Hela and, found and realized at the end of Ragnarok, he didn't need his hammer. The power's in him. He's the god.
Yeah, that was literally the point of the whole movie.
Thunder, not the god of hammers.
The god of hammers.
Then all of a sudden, in Infinity War, I can't do anything without a hammer.
Without a hammer, right?
No, he didn't. But he didn't need a hammer. He needed an axe.
and it just so happened to have a plot device. I mean, Bifrost control. So
is he the?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's still a Marvel movie. It still was awesome, right? But there were here and there. I mean, okay, we're willing to let it go because they spent 10 years getting to this point, and they give us backstories, and they give us all this stuff to root for, and all these plot points that are being, that are winding through to this point where we're seeing a lot of stuff resolving. And I mean, there's no doubt it's good. It's definitely like geek catnip.
Right.
But Spider-Verse was just a really good story. I don't know. When you see it, JD, let me know.
I will, for sure.
I want to know what you
afraid. You don't care what I think?
No, not at all.
Touche.
Sorry, end of your resolution not to actually just speak my mind. Okay.
I'm so afraid. I feel like everyone is building up Spider-Verse so much. Like
I'm not building it up. I'm telling you right now, there were like 2 or 3 points in it when I was almost gonna. Well, I did tear up a bit. I mean, it was.
I try to go into every movie now without any expectations because it's so hard to meet any kind of expectation in a movie.
Yeah.
If it doesn't hit the spots you want, you're like, but it's not the fault of the movie. It's like, you can't beat your own level of expectation. So I think if you go into any movie kind of zen and just expect to be like, entertained for a couple hours, you can be surprised. Even pieces of crap, you can be like, it wasn't that bad,
So
I won't say anything more of it. Just go see it. And that's all I can say.
So what you're saying is watch the Escape Plan 2 going in.
Oh God!
So you've already put You've already given me expectations. If it's not the worst thing of the year, I'll be upset.
That's like partaking of a cow patty before going in to eat, filet mignon. It's like
both patties.
That is cow. That is just a gross analogy.
But not a bad one, to be quite honest with you. How were your guys' years personally?
What's that?
How were your years? Like, we're talking about what we enjoyed watching this year. How were you? How was your year?
I had a girlfriend break into my house and wake me up at midnight in my bedroom. So
interesting.
Yes, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
It's a year you're never going to forget.
No, not at all. Not a girlfriend anymore either.
well, I can't top that, but I became a grandfather, so yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Still, they were girls, right? So girls breaking into your house, basically, just.
Well,
there's
and your heart. What?
They're going to keep breaking in for
Yeah.
the next 30 years or so.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean everything else is a blur. To be quite honest with you, even New York Comic Con and all that, like after the twins were born, it's just like, you know. But you're closer to having little ones, JD, so you understand how quickly that changes your life.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, seriously, we're going on. He'll be 3 in February, and like, it's weird how you don't remember things before, but at the same time, it's weird. It's this wonderful mixture of pain and joy and sorrow and excitement all in one time that hits you in the face repeatedly every day.
Here's a little secret, boys and girls. Once you become a grandparent, you can hold the little 6-month-old and cuddle with her and play with her, and then as soon as she starts crying or she stinks, you just hand her over to her mother.
Yeah, that's what my in-laws say. Yeah.
This is what I do with my nephews. You know, when I'm finished with them, I just give them a cappuccino and a puppy, and I send them back home.
You just buy them a puppy? You're a good uncle. Be randomly buying kids dogs.
Well, I give the puppy a cappuccino too, so you know.
And how about you, JD?
I made a lot of big life changes this year. You know, I've been coaching for 15 years, had my first state champion ever, had my first the same kid and his brother won national titles this year. So that was really cool. My personal business took a really big step backwards. So I really needed to change what I do. And so this year was really about figuring out the next step of life. And I talk about it a lot, but I spent a lot of time writing. I wrote 7 books. I'm about to finish number 7. And then I want to write a few more before I start really trying to make the big change in my life where this isn't just a hobby. It's what I do to pay the bills. So this was, 2017 was a lot of figuring stuff out. 2018 was the year that I was kind of on the map. You know, I was on a path. Like I knew what I wanted and knew how to get it. So I'm very, very happy this year. You know, a lot of ups and downs, but I think on the whole, like I think I learned a lot about myself this year.
Cool.
I'm excited to see how you do.
Yeah, me too.
You got to be careful though when you make.
Me too.
You got to be careful when you make comments of like, you know, big life changes, because next thing rumors are going to be starting that you're now a woman and you're transitioning, and
you know, I think you're the only one that was thinking that.
And there would be nothing wrong with it if I did make that decision, but it's not me.
Is there something you want to tell us?
What? No, not at all. So here's one. I know it's going to be very difficult for JD. Favorite TV show of 2018?
What's TV?
The one that he got to watch. Is that it?
All right, John. You were talking about this before we got on mic. You seemed like you were agonizing over the decision.
I was, because I like the CW shows, but like I was telling you, it's been a while since I've seen a TV show that I wanted to watch so bad that even if I'm taping it on my DVR, that I would actually make the effort to sit down and watch it as it was being broadcast. That said, you said that Netflix was in play. Right.
Where all the good stuff is.
Even the escape plan too.
Where all the bad stuff is.
Then there were 2 shows for me that, like, as soon as they were available, I basically forgot that the rest of the world existed and just watched them straight through. The Nanatsu no Taizai, the 2nd season, 7 Deadly Sins, which is an anime made by Netflix. And it's very, very good. And the other thing was Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Gauntlet.
Is that the new season?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet, man.
Yes, it was good.
Cool.
Definitely worth it. Can't wait to see. And the reason why there's fewer episodes this year is because they said they streamlined the process. They can do every year now, because otherwise it takes too long. So we're gonna have a new season every year now.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, me too. Especially since they did so well this time around.
Cool.
So I think for me, because like I said, I just raved about the life changes I made. The biggest change in my life was, at night I don't watch TV. I come down to the office and I work. Like, and that's what I do every day. So I don't I gotta say on the show. I mean, I'm terrible on the show when it comes to TV stuff because I don't watch it. Not because I don't want to, but importance. NXT is the show that I make time for every week, and even if I just have it on in the background, I typically don't miss NXT. It's a professional wrestling show. So that's the one show. I had to be honest, like there's shows that I like more. I really like The Toys That Made Us. That was a great show. The second season came out this year. I don't remember if the first did or not. But that's the show. I mean, that's it. That's the show that I tend not to miss, or that I'll catch up on if I did miss a few.
Okay.
No Game of Thrones in 2018.
No, there was not.
Yeah, but 2019 is going to be a blowout.
And that's what we might all do at the end.
Yeah.
Is that like waiting to exhale? Okay.
Yes, it's going to be it's going to end badly. Like nothing about this show tells me that there's going to be a happy ending, or even like an average ending. Like it's going to be catastrophic. Like it's going to be dragons mowing just oceans of people down.
Would you want
Westeros will burn?
Would you want a happy ending? Like
yes,
I would want, but I'm not going to get.
I mean that's part of the struggle. That's part of like a good story, or it's part of a good story where the hero struggles, and because of their struggles, they ultimately prevail. They don't get something for free, and there could be tragedy, but they still prevail. And this thing with J.R. Martin, Martin, right? So he's like, let's see, roll the dice. Okay, he's dead. It's like. Oh, he's a fan favorite? Okay, I'll add an extra. He gets a +10 to save. No, he died. Sorry.
That's what makes the show so great, though. Is I don't think it's so random. Like everyone makes jokes that it's all random. Like, oh, that guy's gonna die because we all like him. Like I think there is purpose behind it. I think it makes death mean so much more in these shows because it's permanent and it stings. It's like real life when someone. I don't want it's in all my fiction, but I mean, like on this show, it works because the world sucks. And the world of Westeros sucks as much as the real world can suck sometimes. And that's a big part of that suck. But it makes the good moments like so much sweeter.
Right. But if it ends with no sweet moments and everybody's dead, then well.
I imagine I joke that it's going to end in a lake of fire, but I mean, like, I imagine it'll be something kind of bittersweet. Like, I imagine there'll be, like, the arcs will come to a conclusion and there'll be some satisfaction, but like, Jon Snow's head will be on a pole or something like that,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking too.
I mean, that's kind of the show. Like every time we get something really good, it's followed up with something that makes you go, ugh. But we still got that really good thing.
Yeah.
But now we have to deal with this really horrible thing over here. Like, but that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of life. And I think that show does a better job making you examine life, which is odd because it's fantasy, works.
Yeah. I don't think, so I don't know if I can pick a favorite show. It's funny because, before I even talk about what possible my favorite show is, I kind of have fallen off the CW shows a little bit. I am trying to catch up on Flash, but I decided last night, I was going to try to watch the Elseworlds crossover, because a lot of times you can watch those without watching the rest of the seasons. And I watched what I thought was the first episode, which was the Supergirl episode, but all it was the teaser at the end.
Oh, okay.
And I watched that Supergirl episode though, and I went, wow, now I remember why I stopped watching this show. It was bad. So they've been up and down. I can say truthfully now that half the season's over. They've been up and down. There are a couple of episodes that seem like they were written by the same people that wrote like the G.I. Joe cartoon, where like the moral is just stuffed down your throat in a very obvious and childish way. And then there are other episodes that actually are pretty good.
Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but all of a sudden, you remember the Viper episode?
The Viper is coming.
Yes.
I remember
that just popped in my head, and maybe that's how I feel about Supergirl. So favorite TV show of 2018. That's a tough one. because we got 2 Netflix shows that I enjoyed and couldn't wait for the next season to come, which is never going to happen now. Yep. That being Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I know people still didn't really care for Iron Fist, but the way it ended, I really wanted a season 3.
Sorry.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Whoa.
Very nice. Thanks. We were all alive in the 90s.
I will say, so I'm gonna blow everyone's minds with this one. I think my favorite show, and there's a reasoning for it, from this year, is the Great British Baking Show. So for those who are unfamiliar, it's a cooking competition show from England. It was on PBS, and now you can get 6 of the seasons on Netflix. And my wife and I watch it together and really enjoy it. So it's like time we spend together watching this show. And we actually spent the last couple months getting caught up on it and watching all the seasons. And it's just funny because it's like, it's so different than American style competition shows where, when they have the confessional cams and it's like they're bad mouthing the other contestants and saying, oh, the judge was wrong on here and those kind of stuff. Like, none of that exists. Like, they actually help each other out on the show. It's weird. They actually like one another.
Well, that's not fun.
So I like the wrestling show. You like the cooking show. We should totally lose our nerd podcast show.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Weird. Does that make me the only one that liked an actual?
True. Yeah, you're a true to life nerd. We're fake nerds. No, but I get what you're saying. Like, I used to like watching Restaurant Impossible with my wife when that was a thing because it was like cool. I didn't really care about it, but it was cool bonding time.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
I gotta say, I am such a nerd. I even watched the new season of She-Ra just out of like nostalgia.
Yay, nay.
Nah, nay.
Really?
The writing was better. I mean, those 80s shows were just, they were basically just to sit a kid down in front of. But
they were half-hour clips for toys.
Yeah. But the writing was better, but the direction they took it in was they completely messed with the origin and the what do you call it, the canon, and they changed it. I don't think anybody's worried about spoilers for She-Ra, but they changed it so that the sword that she has is, it's every generation it picks another woman to become She-Ra. So she's not really.
They Buffy'd it.
What?
They Buffy'd it a little bit.
Yeah, they did. They totally did. And I don't know how that leaves it with the fact that she's supposed to be Prince Adam's sister, because they mentioned attorney in there, but there was nothing about where she actually came from and whatever. So, she might not know. Yeah. I mean, aside from the canon messing with and not liking that part of it, the writing was really good, and there was a really good interaction between her and one of the villains where they started out as best friends, and over the whole series they became mortal enemies, and they did that fairly well.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was. And this is not a kids show. It's still a kids show, but not like Dave said, it's not just a half-hour advertisement for toys.
Okay, I'll say my favorite superhero show of 2018 was probably season 3 of Daredevil, so I can keep my nerd cred a little bit.
And that's just fake nerd cred right there. Yeah, that wasn't your first choice, man. Cakes for you. That's it.
Right. I kind of covered this when we talked about our personal lives of 2018, but do you guys have any favorite moments of 2018?
That the first steps you take on the floor of the New York Comic Con.
Okay.
Oh, I may go one better. The first time we got through security before the floor opened.
That was pretty cool. I will say that.
Because we never thought we'd get that at the New York Comic Con.
How about you, JD?
Not geek related stuff, because like I said, I spent most of my year just doing like the me thing. Probably like I said before, the two brothers wrestling in the national championship against each other and splitting a national title.
No,
like, I can't. I'm never gonna have that happen again. So I mean, and I've been through a lot with those two kids. So I mean, like, it's pretty cool.
Now that's awesome.
The number one moment, the birth of my granddaughters. The number two moment, when Doctor Strange and Tony Stark met in Infinity War.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, the meeting of the egos.
The worst might have been Mr. Stark. I don't want to go.
Oh. That was harsh, man.
Yeah, bastard.
There are a lot of moments like that in Spider-Verse.
All right, I'm gonna see it.
So
I know I'm hyping it up too much. I'm gonna ruin it for you, but
browbeating me on it. All right, I'm going.
So is that your least favorite moment of 2018?
No, I've had way more least favorites, but I don't know what my least favorite is. I don't like focusing on those things.
Yeah, I know, but I put it in the list.
Someone's about to have their worst moment of 2018 wherever you are.
I told you, I live, there's a fire station up the street.
Hell's Kitchen.
There's the hospital and the cancer center, and then an ambulance bay, all, around me, so...
And every time you say it, the theme from St. Elsewhere starts going around in my head.
Kids, for those of you that don't know, St. Elsewhere was a TV show.
Blow the dust off that joke, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing I need to mention. Rip Penny Marshall.
Yes. So,
I mean, I remember watching Laverne and Shirley when it was on, and the fact that she gave us movies like League of Their Own,
Big,
and Big. I mean, just really, really good movies.
Yeah, she was great. Much. She gave us a lot as a director. Some real iconic stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year for celebrities. A lot of died. It seems, right?
There's one big one that we have to mention on this particular show.
Stanley?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of some, obscure celebrity to throw in there, but you guys beat me to it by saying the actual name.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
I was trying to remember who the guy from Mama's Family and F Troop recently passed away. See? You can't even remember his name.
No.
F Troop?
Oh, that's an old show from the 60s.
Oh. Okay. I missed that.
I knew what F Troop was, but...
And then he was the son on Mama's Family. What's the actor's name? Someone's yelling at their mobile device right now. I know, John, I know you have a least favorite.
No, I've got a few, actually, but,
Didn't he go over that with waking up with the crazy girlfriend in his place? That's going to be hard to top that one.
That is true.
Yeah. I really don't want to try to top that one. I mean,
I think we'll write that off as that's it.
Yeah. So, all right.
You ever seen Misery? Could get worse.
I didn't really want to think about that, but thank you.
No problem. It's what I do. I make things. It's like I tell my wife, I make things worse.
All right. Well, I think this conversation has spiraled enough. It's what we do. Exactly. So I'm just going to end with saying to both you guys, thanks for being part of the show this year. It's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it all again next year. And I hope you guys have great Christmases and New Year's.
Yeah,
and it's been good to have you on, JD.
It's my first full year on. Last year was a lot of adjusting and figuring things out. This year, I'm having a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this a lot. Thanks for letting the outsider in.
Oh no, thanks for fitting in.
Outsider in, you give us credit. I mean, you give us cred, basically.
But no, I understand what you're saying.
Don't blow up my ego anymore.
I understand what you're saying. It's tough when we had been doing it for 3.5 years, and John and I have a friendship outside of the podcast. It's very easy to feel like the outsider, and
No, I don't feel, but I never feel like that. Like, you guys have never ever made me feel like the other guy. And I would have, if that was the case, I'd have been gone a long time ago. I mean, like, I really enjoy what we do together. So it's awesome.
And, I want to make sure I also want to make sure I say thank you to Jesse and Matt for writing reviews. Yes, we thought Matt was not writing reviews for us anymore, and lo and behold, he wrote 2 reviews this week, which are available on the website. And then
he probably just needed a rest.
He's been hard at work on his stuff. Like Matt, they moved, and he's been hard at work on his book, Super Elders. So I mean, I give Matt a ton of credit. He got a little 1-2, and he writes and draws his book. It's a lot of work, and I miss having Matt around. I'd like to have more interaction with him, but he's working hard.
But and I did message him on Slack, which he didn't respond to, which I'm assuming he doesn't go on Slack anymore. So I'm going to email him. But if you're listening to the podcast, Matt, thanks, again for contributing. And then to our other new, contributor, Brad, who's been writing up the news articles for us on the website. Thank you guys for chipping in and helping out. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you really need to, if you haven't looked at superheroespeak.com in a while, you really need to go check it out because, we're going to be taking a break from the podcast for 2 weeks, but we will be still updating the website. There'll still be reviews and news and the videos being put up every day. So, make sure you check that out. And on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in 2019. Don't let the escape get caught in the door.
Yep.
Have a good year.